Strip everything down to image, word, idea. Without narrative, it means nothing. This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Find all my work at mjmunoz.com. Welcome to Super Sentai Sanctuary. Join me as I analyze Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. This is episode 2. I'm talking about what I've lost. So, I'll be discussing this topic. Does everyone involved with Donbrothers struggle with some sort of loss? Is there a curse on them? Before I do that, I'm going to give you the credits, go over who was responsible for making this thing, what it is. First of all, the episode is entitled Big Peach, Little Peach. I had no idea what that name was about. Now I understand. It originally aired March 13th, 2022. The writer is Toshiki Inoue. The director is Ryuta Tasaki. Yes, Ryuta Tasaki. And so far, Inoue has written 2 of these 2 episodes. Tasaki has directed 2 of these 2 episodes, being episode 1 and 2 for each of them, and I will talk about that more later. I'm going to skip it. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the episode first, then I will have a new little feature I'm thinking about doing, at least for a while, which I will touch on later. So if you're looking at the show notes, you already know what I'm going to say, so I won't do that. I'm also not going to read the synopsis, even though it's there in the show notes. I'm just going to go straight into my commentary on the episode. I have something negative to say, which is this. Inoue's patented missed connections and poor communication is coming back. It's on full display. It's part of the show. Haruka knows that she has to talk to Momoi Taro, and she keeps thinking everybody is Momoi Taro except for Momoi Taro himself. They keep coming into very close contact with each other and not noticing or not realizing or whatever. And it's funny. Like, if you've seen the first few episodes of Fies, that's 100% what it is. Kiva, I can't remember so much. Jetman, I've only seen really the first episode, but this does have similar vibes to Jetman, where it's like a team slowly coming together and coalescing, except for it's modern Super Sentai, so they have to have the mech battles right away from the beginning, and there's no way to avoid that. Anyway, that's the negative thing I have to say. I don't really mind it, but I haven't seen enough of Inoue's shows to get sick of it. So I've only seen 100% of Kiva, and I can't think of anything else, really, at the moment. So anyway, we'll see if that keeps happening and how frustrating it turns out to be for me. And if some bugs you, I'd like to know about it, and I'd like to know what other shows it happens in. So anyway, moving on to the positive stuff. I loved Tsuyoshi's story. I like this idea of the power of love. And then Oni's sister carrying Momotaro was truly a delight for me. And I guess I'll dwell on those for a little bit longer. So Tsuyoshi's story, which is very much tied into the power of love, is pretty cool. And I'm going to say that I liked that Tsuyoshi, we got this, it was interesting. We had this very short glimpse into Tsuyoshi. Maybe it was 1 minute, could have been 2 at the most. And I have a connection to this guy. I feel for him, and I feel sad for him. I feel happy for him. I have all sorts of feelings for this character who I've barely seen. And it's really funny. And to me, I mean, it's not funny. It's remarkable how well a character can be written and how good of a job they can do. And how good of a job a character, a writer can do, how good of a job the cast and crew can do to make a character's story come alive in such a small space. And like I said, I find that to be very impressive, and I was really pleased. So, probably in large part because I like Kiva so much, and I gotta say, I got kind of Kiva-ish vibes from Tsuyoshi being kind of a sad sack and kind of being pathetic. And then you have the other side of things where he's in love, he's married, he's a newlywed. That's really awesome to me. I think it's beautiful. I'm a bit of a romantic. I've been married to my wife for, I gotta remember now, like maybe 12, I think we're at 12 years, if not 13. So anyway, I love the idea of people being in happy, healthy marriages and relationships, really marriages. You gotta get out of that relationship as soon as possible and get yourself into a committed marriage, in my opinion, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life. Anyway, so yeah, I was really pleased by his story, how engaging it was, and again, in such a short amount of time. It's such skillful storytelling, and that's for the whole crew. That's for everybody. That's for like I said, the writer, the cast, the crew, the music, everything was beautiful, and I loved it. And then The Power of Love. This, I don't know, it's positive even though it's kind of negative. That he's like, oh, we must have been saved by the power of love to his wife, which her name is Hiromi, I think, maybe, I don't know, I have it in my notes. And she's like, no, it wasn't the power, or no. He says we've been saved by God. Like, it was a miracle. We must have, been saved from being able to, we were miraculously saved from getting hit by a car when he used his Donbrothers powers to do it, or his Kiji brother power to do it. And she's like, no, it was the power of love. And I don't know, it was kind of corny, kind of cheesy, kind of funny, kind of like, I don't know, if you want to be real sensitive, it's like borderline blasphemous, but God is love, so I guess it all counts, right? All right, so moving on to the next thing. The comedy of Oni's sister carrying around Kiji brother on her back when he was in The Little Peach. And I guess he is Momotaro, so he's Peach Boy. And his soul or something left his body, and he just laid there on the floor while he was inside of this little Peach robot form. And I don't really know what was up with that. I don't know why he would do that. I don't know what the advantage was, except for I guess he was using those like Sonic the Hedgehog spring board things that they have. What's with the Avatar world? It's like half video game, half grid man, like cyberspace world, half I don't know what. That's three halves. That's a lot of halves. Anyway, so that's odd, but I found that scene very comedic, and I laughed and I had a good time with it. So that's why it's one of my positives, because I liked it and I felt good about it. Anyway, moving on to reflections. And I want to be, the thing I want to do now is answer the question about, who lost and who's losing, and is this show about dealing with loss? Because I thought it was about bonds, but if you have a bond, it can grow and it can be broken, or it can be created, it can be broken. So if the show is about bonds and loss, that would make sense because the two are intrinsically linked with one another, and it's a great thematic, a great thematic structure where it's dealing with multiple things, or it's dealing with the theme from multiple angles or perspectives, which is what you want in order to tell a good story. So, so I want to first of all log and kind of, count up who all has lost something in this show. So far, it appears to me that Peach Dad has lost something. Haruka has definitely lost something. Zenkaiser, or I spelled that wrong. Zenkaiser Black or Zenkaiser Dude. I don't know. I watched one of Dawson Ryder's series finale reviews, or his one series finale review for Zenkaiser, and he said something about like the main character whose name was not Raito, because that's the guy with the from the Angel Super Sentai. Anyway, he said the guy's name, and I can't remember it now, but like he has a double, or this, like the guy who's the master in this cafe now in Donbrothers is like the alternate universe version of this guy, but like there were also like twin versions of the guy at one point in his show. Kaito? Is it Kaito? I don't know if it's Kaito. It might be Kaito. Anyway, but this is like an alternate universe version of him. Anyway, I'm wondering what his deal is and like what he's lost, and it seems to me like he's lost something, and he definitely seems to be working in the background to get stuff, and I don't understand the mechanics of it, and I kind of like how it's not very simply being laid out. I also don't feel like it's false mystery. I just feel like it's a natural, like more slowly paced story where it's unfolding for us, and I'm enjoying that process. But anyway, that's a distraction from what I'm trying to say. So he's lost stuff, I guess, and then Inuzaka, who's going to be who is our Black Ranger, who's is it Inu or Inui brother? I can't remember. Anyway, he's the dog guy, and he's lost, I would say, his freedom. He's lost his reputation, perhaps, because he appears to be a fugitive. He claims that he's innocent, and the cop who's chasing him, I'm pretty said, "I don't care." Sorry. That's a reference to the 1990s movie The Fugitive, starring Harrison Ford opposite Tommy Lee Jones. If you didn't know that, now you do. Anyway, check it out. It's a fun movie. Based off of a 70s TV show, I think, actually. Which, so is this. So it all ties together. Hashtag it's all connected. Anyway, Tsuyoshi has lost something. Tsuyoshi being, is it Kijiri brother? I don't know, whatever. The pink pheasant dude with glasses. My boy Tsuyoshi. And I also like, this is a tangent, Tsuyoshi is the original name for the Red Go Ranger, which I find kind of fun. So anyway, this Tsuyoshi is, he's lost something. He's lost like his reputation. He's lost is standing at work. He's dislocated his shoulder multiple times, apparently. So that's pretty interesting. Or maybe the dislocating of the shoulder happened before he met with Taro. Maybe that's what it was. The timeline seemed a little funny, but basically he's lost all these things, but he's got his wife, so he's holding on to that and that relationship and that happiness. He's grasping happiness, which is exactly what Dominkashi would want you to do. So anyway, yeah, he's lost something, and then another reflection. So moving off of, has somebody lost something, or has everybody lost something? I think the answer to that is yes. I think it'll be interesting to see how getting with Taro and working with him will allow them to get that back. And I also wonder if Taro has lost something that he's trying to get back. Maybe he's lost his dad. Maybe Peach Dad hasn't lost his freedom. Maybe it's that Taro has lost Peach Dad and he's trying to get him back or something. I don't know. It's all very strange. And he has, Peach Dad has this weird level of power where he can like pop onto people's phones or whatever, like he did with Haruka, and communicate with them. So he can interact with the outside world, but I guess he's trapped there on the other side. He's in the Avatar world or whatever. So it's like very confusing as to what's going on there. But anyway, I'm belaboring the point, and I'm sure I'm losing your interest, so I will move on. I wonder why Haruka seems to be the protagonist, or our point of view character. As Dawson Ryder said, I hadn't thought of her being the point of view. I just thought, oh, she's like the main character, the protagonist. Anyway, so I want to know, why is she acting as like our protagonist or our point of view character or our lead-in for this series? It's kind of interesting, kind of odd, but as I pointed out last time, I believe that she is an outside element for this show, because the original Legend of Momotaro, he's got the dog, the pheasant, a monkey, I believe, maybe a baboon. Who knows how the translator translated, and I don't know how the Japanese called them all, because like people will get mad today if you call a chimp a monkey, because a chimpanzee is technically an ape. Monkeys have tails, apes don't. I believe that's how it goes. So like a gorilla and a chimpanzee are cousins or somehow related genetically in a more profound way than like a spider monkey and I don't know, one of those Japanese ice monkeys or whatever, because they've got tails and whatever. So anyway, I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but I do find it interesting. Anyway, I will move on to say that I find it interesting, that she's like this foreign element injected in the story, because I believe the enemies that Momotaro was fighting in the legend were Oni. So it's kind of weird that she's in here now, and I gotta say, if she's Oni, does that mean that they are fighting Oni, or they're not fighting Oni? I can't tell, and we don't know the identity of these villains, but like the one guy or the lady consumed his Sanae, the boss over at the at the delivery company. Sheesh, I don't know why it took me so long to say it. The boss of the delivery company, she gets infected with like a Tokyuger monster, and I believe it's an actual monster from Tokyuger. The wiki I copied and pasted stuff from said something about it being like Tokyu such and such. So I guess that makes sense, unless they pulled that information directly from the Japanese wiki, and it's kind of like in Kamen ZO, where they made monsters based on a certain show. Did they do that in there? I guess I don't know. So anyway, I don't know if it's a Tokyuger monster, but it's definitely tied to Tokyuger, which is why the Tokyuger metal or Zenkaiger gear or Sentai gear or whatever came out of it. So that's it. That's interesting stuff. But yeah, I'm really confused as to who the villain group is and why they are and whatnot. But I was totally not involved with Zenkaiger, so or the show before that. So Kira Major. So I have no idea what's going on in Super Sentai. So I'm really happy that year in and year out there are independent shows from each other, and hopefully I'll be able to follow along, even if there's something interesting going on where it's connecting to the last season. So let me see. Do I want to talk about the direction? Oh yeah, real quick. So Kiji Brothers' direction was much better. I like that they zoomed in on him being in his suit, and they used different cuts to make it look good. I think seeing that 3D model at nighttime made it look better or less worse. So maybe they should just do a lot of night shots with him. That might be a good idea. And I'm talking about the scene where he saves his wife. What's next? Oh, the avatar change is a clever tool. Oh, this is from writing. So what's one more thing for the directing? The flavor of the fights was different, but it was still very fun. Tasaki directed both episodes, but there was not, to my memory, a lot of the flying around camera like we saw I think primarily, well, I was going to say it was mostly in Lupin Ranger, but I think Lupin Ranger was the last Sentai I watched. I think, well, the camera was very dynamic in Lupin Ranger. I believe it actually started in Q Ranger, because I remember my boy Garu going ham on people and the camera following him around, and it looked really slick. I think I remember that correctly. Anyway, moving on. The camera was much more stationary this episode, so it had a different flavor and feel, and we didn't get the same types of acrobatics. And we did get different stuff. Like I can't remember who transformed, but like there was what's it called? Anyway, like a wood print block okie, like very Japanese, like not manga, but like traditional Japanese art, like watercolor type stuff, effects going on the screen, and that was all crazy visuals, which was fun. And like I said, it carried a different flavor from the last episode, so that's good. I like the variation. It keeps it exciting. Anyway, variety is the spice of life, as they say. Anyway, so again, I had a note about the writing, about just how Tsuyoshi's story was so good in so little time. I won't belabor that fact. Just I want you to know I was really impressed with that, especially as an aspiring writer myself. So, the Avatar change is a clever tool for this challenging cast of Rangers, and what I mean by that specifically is that the variety in their types of suits. You've got the super tall guy, the super little guy, the bird and the dog, and allowing them to avatar change into different Rangers is clever because it allows them to get into normal suits for pink and black, and it's going to save money. I did notice that they used a gigantic head of a Inui Ranger for one shot where they did a close-up with the Dawn Blaster right next to him, lifting the Dawn Blaster up to his head before he did his change into Ryu Soul Black. I guess that's what that would be. I didn't watch Ryu Soldier either. Anyway, so I'm interested. Like, one of the things I love about Tokusatsu is how they do things on a budget and do things cleverly and like make something out of nothing. And they've really challenged themselves by doing this, super tall character, super short character, which need to predominantly be CGI or handled in some other way for their effects to work and to sell. And like I said, having the avatar change is a clever way to do it, but I'm a little disappointed that they are doing the avatar change, because didn't the last show they had like the mechs were all homages to, or there were like robot people who were all homages. I guess they're androids technically. That's what a robot person is, MJ. Anyway, they were like homages to past shows, and like now they're doing homages on homages on homages, it seems like, and they're kind of doing the Gokaiger thing again. And didn't a previous Sentai recently also have them switching forms too into previous Super Sentai? I don't think that's good. I think that's bad. I think it's like I said, I don't think it's good. I wish they would keep up with the Avatar thing in a different way. I thought it was interesting that Kiji brother turned into a girl. Like, he turned into a pink girl of some other show. I can't remember which Ranger she was, but like, that was kind of interesting. And he was like, "Whoa, I'm a woman. Look at these thighs," or something like that. Or maybe he noticed the skirt more than the thighs. I can't remember now. But anyway, he noticed that, and he was like, all right, whatever, I'll roll with it. And like, oh, this kind of has certain advantages. And I listened to, that's a life hack there. You can listen to, with many different types of apps, anything you can copy and paste and it'll read it. So I copied and pasted a Tokunet interview or article where they were posting a translated interview with Shirakawa, I think. Well, whoever the guy is that's on Twitter that he's like, "You're not supposed to know about Trinity form," from whatever show that was. What was that? Zio? Yeah, it was from Zio. Anyway, so anyway, that guy, producer guy from Toei, he had this interview and he was talking about how, like, they don't want to be woke, they don't want to push, gender stuff on kids. And I felt like he was, I don't know, it was an interesting way he handled the topic, but I thought the idea of, like, the Pink Ranger being a dude and then him turning into other Pink Rangers, because I think each person can only change into people who are their color, which some seasons have black, some seasons don't have black, instead they have green. So I guess that'll limit things a little bit for Inui Brother, unless he'll just turn into a green, which is what I think they did in Gokaiger, because they didn't have a black, they just had Dawn as the green, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, so I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how they cover that, but like, just the idea that this guy's pink and he's only going to turn into Pink Ranger, so he'll mostly be turning, I think almost exclusively, his avatar changes will be making him into a Pink Ranger, is interesting. And then it's like kind of an interesting way for them to have, like, low-key keep a female staff member on a second female staff member on, what do I try to say? Employed, basically. Although, if Yellow is going to be turning into guys and girls, then you might just never have Yellow and Pink both being girls at the same time, and they'll always be opposite of each other, and maybe even their suit actors will switch back and forth. I don't know how they're going to do that. So maybe that was a cool idea, but that's not how it's going to happen. But anyway, I do think it's a clever way to get out of it and to save budget on the show, even though like they didn't have to structure it that way. But they're working within the limitations, and I find that to be a writing decision as much as anything else. So yeah, that's it. I have a bunch of general notes on the show where I kind of, because of the way I was able to watch it, I was able to write stuff down while I was watching it, which kind of helped. Me learn this world, these characters and stuff. So you can go through those in the show notes. I'm not going to talk about it right now. Oh, but I do want to talk about in this new feature, creator or something like that, spotlight, creator highlight. Is that what I'm doing? Yeah, creator spotlight. I'm going to talk about the director Ryuta Tasaki. So from the wiki, and there's links in the notes. I shouldn't tell you the links now because that would sound stupid. HTTPS. Anyway, so Tasaki is a Japanese film director from Tokyo. Tasaki is most known for directing episodes of Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, Cutie Honey the Live, the Super Sentai series, the Power Rangers series, and the recent Kamen Rider series. So, kind of in chronological order, broken down by different series, I'm going to tell you what he's directed on. So, he was a director, I don't know how involved, for, oh boy, Churiki. I've never read that before. Churiki Sentai O-Ranger. He then worked on Car Ranger, then Mega Ranger, then Gingaman. Then for Power Rangers, he worked on Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, which is an adaptation of Gingaman, I believe. Then he did Lightspeed Rescue, which is Go-Go V, I think. Anyway, then he worked on, before then, he worked on Kamen Rider Black. So this guy's already pretty good in my eyes. He was an assistant director in that, because I think that show had like 20 directors and 80 writers, or 84 writers, as my wife would say. Then for Kamen Rider Agito, he did 10 episodes. Kamen Rider Kabuto, 12. Kamen Rider Kiva, almost the best Kamen Rider there is, 8 episodes only. And then Kamen Rider Double, the fake best episode or series of Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider Double, he did 10. So I was trying to insult Kamen Rider Double a little bit, and I got distracted. So I just kind of wanted to highlight stuff that he's worked on and show how long he's been working in the industry, in tokusatsu, and I think it's pretty cool. I don't know when Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon came out. I thought it was the early 2000s, I'm not sure, but it's kind of outside of the scope of this, so I didn't want to bring it up really. The next episode is called The Lamp Thief or The Light Thief, it depends on your translation, and I'm looking forward to it. We're going to see Saru Brother show up, who, he's supposed to be an ape. I think they made him more like a baboon with his pink butt and no tail, so we'll see how that goes. And anyway, yeah, you can look at the notes to see other stuff I'm curious about, but I'm trying to keep these kind of light and informal and just kind of fun and breezy. So anyway, until next time, I'm MJ signing off. You can check out my writing, my artwork, and all my other analysis stuff over at mjmunoz.com. It'll be right at the top there for you. So anyway, until next time, I leave you with peace and blessings. This is MJ signing out, but I do want to let you know I am on TikTok as well, which is linked up at the top of the site, or the show notes really. And if you want to check out me doing stuff on this show and other tokusatsu and other comics and whatever that I'm into, you can check that out there. I try to keep it pretty fresh and unique from what I do in these fuller podcast type things. So there's going to be maybe fun, maybe gags, maybe just little quick reviews, quick first reactions and stuff like that before I do these full-on reviews. So anyway, until next time, folks, take care.